proper brief. As you guys know, we did it last time in 2012. The most important thing is that everybody goes home at the end of this event. The most important thing is everybody goes home at the end of the event. So we want to have the safest skydive ever. And on these first couple of jumps, it's going to be kind of like just the sight picture. You know, I mean, it would be cool if we did one and done, but let's be realistic. Just take your time. Today's just kind of familiarization. Let's get a sight picture. Let's kind of get those references, get the keys. And again, just be really, really safe. And then goal 2 is to get a record. But don't overshadow goal number 1 of being safe. We're going to try to do 5 jumps a day. I know originally we wanted to do 6, but when we started to work with Chicago Center on this, they kind of blacked out some time for me. We cannot jump between 11:30 and 12:55 because that's the major rush into the Chicago airports. And to get up to 19,000 feet, you kind of have to cross some of those arrival routes into those airports. So we cannot jump between 11:30 and 12:55, which is a great time for lunch. And we're going to try to be in free fall at about 11:25. And we're going to be taking off at 12:30. So we're going to try to shrink that time down as much as possible.
So we're getting ready to launch the first attempt at a 170 way, and we just got done with the walk. Everybody's really excited and fun, and it's kind of a reunion on the first day. Everybody's just saying hello, hi, and it's a really cool vibe. And everybody just needs to be safe and take their time and just kind of see the sight picture. I don't think anybody really expects to get it on the first one, but we just kind of expect to, like, what does it look like? Like, what am I going to see? Like, oh man, it's going to be super intense. So it's going to be fun.
We just got through the event brief. Everybody's all set. They know their slots in the planes. They know all the safety procedures, everything that we have set up for them, and we're ready to jump. Jump 1 is really used for a sight picture. Everybody's really nervous. Everyone's really nervous, and this is a jump just to knock off those nerves, get a sight picture, see where your slot is, come in, and be ready to go for the next one.
Yeah, so we're going to kind of see if, like, the engineering that we did works. Like, it's always an educated guess because we're doing something that we've never done before. So we're going to make sure, like, the plane timing and is all correct, and, like, the staging of the airplanes and the climb outs. And there's a lot that gets discovered on the first one. And with the center hold that we have from 11:30 to 12:50, it's going to give us time when we get down to really dissect the video and watch and kind of analyze every sector and the exit and frames going out. So it's really good.
For this, I've been working on it for 2 years, essentially, since the last one, camps all over the world, getting hand-picked selected people to be able to do it, and then obviously getting everybody here is a pretty big feat, all the aircraft.
And there's so many moving parts to this. Everything has to fall in place. If one of the parts doesn't click, the formation doesn't build. It's critical. Everybody has to be perfect. The pilots have to be perfect. The oxygen systems have to work. The clouds have to cooperate.
The first one for me is always exciting, a little nervous, because we're trying a 10-way base, which is new. A lot of the engineering we've all done before, but this 10-way base, we launched it a couple times yesterday with some practice jumps, and the first one was a junk show, so it made me really nervous, and then the second, third, and fourth were, like, gradually improving every time. So I have a lot of faith that a 10-way will work. We just have to fly our butts off and make it work.
jumps as of now, and right now we're trying just to give everybody a chance to really build their muscle memory or their flight path and visuals to shoot for, because especially today, one of the big, I guess, not problems, but things that are happening in the sky is the gray weather. It's really hard to see the colors and tell the difference. And the base rotates a little bit inherently, and so the guys are coming down and having a little bit of a hard time finding exactly where to place themselves. So there's a little bit of confusion on that. But really, it's expected on day one. There's kind of two goals as an organizer. And the first goal is to kind of weed out who maybe isn't quite ready for this size of a record. Even if they did good on a camp, they might not be performing as well here. So we got to find those people, because we have a really stacked bench. So to rotate those guys in is only a smart thing to do. And then secondly, it's building their muscle memory and their flight path.
So last night we spent about 2.5 hours looking at all the jumps and recognizing, like, from the very center outward, like, what was going on. Like, is that core 50 wave building up? Like, were there issues of people maybe not getting in there or getting late? And were there people that were there waiting on those people? So we really evaluated, was there some rearranging? Were people getting there quicker than other people? And just try to focus in on, like, how fast we can get that core to build up. Because the faster we do that, the more time that's going to be on for the outside. So we made a couple of changes last night, and we're looking forward to putting those in on jump one. The weather looks good today, and like opposite of the forecast, it's supposed to be crap. So it's get paid to do your job wrong. I guess I want that job, but hopefully we're going to rally it out today, maybe even make it record day. So day two, there's still a lot of excitement. Everybody's still happy to be here. We only got 3 jumps in yesterday, so there wasn't too much fatigue. But there's a tipping point that can happen where people start to get frustrated. And they're like, man, I've stuck my slot every single time. It's expensive $35 jumps. I really wish those guys would get it done. And when that frustration kind of overcomes everybody, that's when there's that tipping point. We just got to set that to the side and just work as a team and work as one unit.
Yesterday was kind of a work out the kinks kind of day. We're working on the timing of the airplanes, working on the sight picture, and of course dodging weather. So it's just getting to know the people that you're in the plane with, getting to know the people that you're jumping with.
Day one came together really well. I think we all were really happy with the dives. It worked out a little better than we thought it was going to even. And now we've made some changes. Last night we've come back. First dive of the day, incredible, 150 way. That's an unofficial record, largest formation ever built, head down. So I think everybody's stoked. A couple more changes, just trying to get the puzzle just right. And we're going to go up and do it again.
Standing inside of the silent city.
going to go up for the last and final jump for today. We were having really good success with the jumps this morning. Typically, that they go really well in the morning. Everybody's still waking up and calm, and you know, people just start stressing out a little bit when they know they have to dock or they're going to get cut. And I think people are feeling the pressure, and there's that tipping point I was talking about earlier. And you know, you just got to let success of certain jumps not overpower how much work that the jumps are going to take to complete.
It's kind of the stage where everything's coming together. There's only a few missing pieces of the puzzle to really figure out. And so that's what we're doing at the end of the day here. We're hitting a little fatigue from everybody having lunch. You know, kind of call it the lunch blues, where, you know, we kind of rallied in the morning, did some good stuff, and then we had lunch. Everybody gets a little lazy in the airplane, you know, a little hypoxic, and go out, and then they get in a rush mode because they're snapping out of it. And typically, this last load of the day is a lot of times our money jump. So I'm hoping that's the vibe everybody's got. I mean, we've got it. We've so close every time. It's a lot of gears in motion. It's a lot of things people don't see, you know, everywhere from, even the jumpers don't even realize how hard it is to have the 7 pilots all coordinate each other at the same time. Talking about the exit cues, let alone what the jumpers have to think about and coordinate.
Now it's just a mental game. It's just trusting that the person in front of you is going to do their job and that the whole group is going to do their job.
One of the issues, jump number 2, for instance, on my plane, we had the plane rise up, and the person that's spotting the super floater leaving couldn't see that super floater. So our entire plane, who's supposed to be floating, got out about 5 seconds late and became divers. And of course, we didn't realize that right away. We got out and looked for the floaters and then looked down the line of flight and found them about 700 feet below us.
You know, it's like putting a puzzle together, you know, like you got to start with the outside perimeter and then kind of slowly build the inside. And on these skydives, you build the inside and go to the outside. But we're building up to 150 almost every single time, and I think people are it's getting close, so it's excited, and sometimes the last jumps can be the good jumps as well. So.
Day 2 went well. It's a puzzle. The whole thing's a puzzle, and it's just a matter of putting the right people in the right places so the whole puzzle fits together and we make it happen. And last night we moved some stuff around. We changed a couple people, and this morning everybody came back charged up, hydrated, rested, and we killed it.
So we looked last night at the videos. We rearranged some of the pods that were doing really well. Maybe move some people in, move some people out to try to structure it so it would build a little bit quicker, a little bit more efficiently. And hopefully we're going to take advantage of the calmness of the morning jump, and it was really, really good yesterday, and maybe we can do one and done today and get a record. So what we've noticed a lot of times is people are popping out of the formation, which is kind of new of this year. We had it happen, but not as much as we're doing it this year. So we're kind of contributing that to the shelf position people are flying, people getting their air stolen from their legs, and then just getting flat and going. So we kind of encourage people to have a little bit more of a toolkit, meaning a different leg position when the time calls for it, and hopefully kind of eliminate some of that popcorn, because it's frustrating not only to the person that gets popped, but to the rest of the group, because they see the guy just getting ejected, and it's like a big letdown. Well, you know, there's 2 goals for these records. The first one is to be safe, and the second one is to get a record. And I'm very goal-driven, where I won't give up until we get it. Whether we have to do drastic measure changes or whether we can just do rearranging, like we won't give up because this is the goal, this is the project. It's taken 2 years to get to this point, so you can't give up now. So the cutting process, we call the axe really sharp. We want people to know that if they're not paying attention, or if they get lost, or if they take the wrong grip or take somebody out, there's consequences for that. It just makes people try a little bit harder. When all of a sudden they're in a group of 5 for 3 or 4 jumps, and then it's all of a sudden one person's gone or one person gets changed, the rest of the group takes notice and says, hey man, they're watching us and I better perform, otherwise I'm going to be the one sitting on the bench. And it always is a bummer to sit on the bench, but hopefully people recognize what we're trying to do, and being safe and getting getting the record. Only if I don't get the record do I think people are in the right of criticizing when we make cuts.
Mostly trying to stay motivated by thinking that every jump has gotten better every time, so that helps keep me motivated, and try to keep the spirits up and concentration full on once we're in the plane, visualizing. And ready to do it again for sure. Well, I don't think it's hard. I think if everybody continues to be disciplined and continues to do the job we've been doing, I think it should be done though.
I've seen some really amazing skydiving actually. People are doing extremely well. The last 2 jumps in my slot personally, it felt like it just flew forever and it was super smooth. And unfortunately, we've just had 1 person off here and 3 people off there. So at this stage of the game, everybody needs to repeat what they just did, minus 1 person. But seriously, it's a lot to ask of people, but we have to get them to repeat what they just did and keep the energy level up and just go crush this jump.
think? Man, it's close. I'm riding the emotional roller coaster right now. People were definitely on and off, so I don't know quite yet. I'm reserving comments till we see the video. Oh, we shall see if it's there. It was there for a moment, on and off. It didn't feel really good, but I guess we're not in the business of pretty. We're just in the business of a formation. So I'm gonna set this down. Just a suggestion. I would never tell you to not ever get in. But
Because I don't want this day to look like a defeat day. You know, we really want it. We always say, this is the one, last one. We cheer, we high five and everything. But think about what we did today. We woke up this morning and we rocked 160 ways all day. Yeah. And there's nothing more I want to do tomorrow than do a 164-way with you guys. You know, we made a judgment call on the last one with the turning of the spot, and that was my call, and I apologize, but I think it was the best move. And unfortunately, it led to a really long time in the airplanes. And sometimes you got to make them, and sometimes it works, sometimes they don't. I don't think it worked against us, other than the fact that we sat in the airplane for a really, really long time after a really, really long day. But you know what, though, the airplane formation, I know right trail was maybe not on the right spot, but the guys are doing the best they can for us. And we're overcoming a lot of things, because that one, the lights got all screwed up. I know one of the airplanes, I was told, didn't even get a green light. And unfortunately, that was this sector right here, so we can't be too mad at anybody. But we're overcoming things. And you know what? Like, every time we do 160 way, we just get confident. We get confident. The only thing we have to do now is don't get complacent, because it is going to be a lot of work. Tomorrow, it's not guaranteed. Tomorrow's our last day. Like, we have to go to battle tomorrow. We have to go to battle against the 164 way. And I'm up for the challenge. And I know you guys are up for the challenge, because we did 160. Like, I just kept, hey, just do the same thing and we're gonna get it. Oh, do the same thing, we're gonna get it. You guys kept doing that, kept doing that. And this team in this room is the best vertical elite team we've ever assembled. And I have no doubt tomorrow morning we will get 164 way, and then we'll be drunk by noon. Yeah!
These jumps are about learning, if anything, discipline and patience, because every single person that was invited to this record can get a 1-point skydive, no problem. When you add on top of that the number of people in the air, when you add on top of that the climb to altitude, the oxygen, all the other stuff, you know, there's a lot of discipline that you have to have with yourself to maintain just the basics, you know. But they're called basics because we all learn them really early on in the skydiving career, and these are things that are affecting our ability to get these records right now.
Last jump of the day, super close. We had 5 jumps yesterday. We were building over 160 ways. Everybody's killing it. We just had a couple people out. We had a plane on the last jump that didn't get a green light, which left them leaving late and diving instead of floating. And so we had a couple people. We had one person that ended up being out. He just didn't have enough time to get there. So we're just going up. We're doing it again. We got the same group. They did it 5 times yesterday, pretty much. So we're going to keep the same group. We're going to go up. We're going to make it happen right now.
We're about to go up day 4. It's the longest we've ever taken a record camp, and hopefully we're going to do a record for breakfast. You know, everybody's super pumped up from the success we had yesterday, doing 160 ways all day long, and looking forward to it. You know, the jumps historically have always been really good in the morning, and everyone's still kind of tired, and I think people they don't get aggressive because they're still kind of waking up. You know, it's a long plane ride, and, you know, less oxygen, and yeah, it's going to be kind of weird getting one for breakfast. Usually they're at the end of the day scrambling, and now people are going to jump and maybe go have breakfast or something. I don't know, but looking forward.
Ready?
Boy, did that feel good. Man, there was like bobbling in front of me, and it was Courtney, and I'm like, dude, you gotta get in, and she got in, and we locked it out. And I was just like,
and that flew so nice for a good time. Woo! And I said it again.
Yeah, J-Rock. Get in here, man.
Awesome.
Good stuff.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
We don't have to shout inappropriate things across the formation anymore.
Man, it went fantastic. Like, we had to go do a little go around, but came around, got out, and everyone got there, it looked like, so hopefully everything works out.
There's almost nothing in the world I've experienced with more energy. When you get in and everything starts clicking, especially the records when they are the record jump, there's not a single time it's been different where everybody says the same thing. You feel it set in, it's almost like a click, and everything is calm. And everybody lands knowing, even though you can't even see across, everybody lands knowing we got it, just because there's like an energy wave that goes through the formation that's just something that you can't compare to anything else.
So it was a really good flying record, and now we just have to give it to the judges to confirm. That's what they're here to do, and like we're very confident in this. And there's a remote judge, so they've sent it off to the remote judge, and he's just going to come back with probably a thumbs up, we hope, and then we're good. The dishes are done. It feels great, man. Like just all of it kind of wrapping up to a story ending, a good story ending. It's nice. It's weird that it's so early in the morning. Normally it's like in the 11th hour we're getting these, so it's nice. And super props to all the people that are involved, from the pilots, the ground crew, the event staff, everybody, judges. It's just like not a one-man show, so it's a victory for all, for sure.
I just got the text from the other remote judge, and what he wrote is, I see a world record. Yay! It is official. The new world record is 164 vertical participants.
Because we know what we're going to watch. But I really want to give a lot of credit to the whole team that put this thing together. Of course, you guys, but also the pilots that kicked butt for us. We got our judging staff, the judging staff, Mary Lou, and Jamie, and Brandon. And somebody, you probably don't even know, but Donovan and his team that lugged over 60 bottles of oxygen in and out of those airplanes. Of course, all our plane captains for keeping us pumped up and keeping things rolling. And last but not least, the video people for capturing some cool stuff.
Pieces came together. This whole thing is, like we said before, it's a big puzzle. You have the formation, you have the flyers, you have the pilots, you have the planes, you have a lot of moving pieces going on, and you're just moving around until you have the right pieces in the right places as the puzzle comes together. And yesterday we had a hiccup on the last jump with the airplane, but we had the right people, we had the right formation, we had everything in order, so we didn't change a thing. We just knew we could show up this morning, stick it, and go home happy.
Woke up this morning and we're talking about a record for breakfast, and knowing the first jump was always the best. And man, we got it, and we did it properly, because it wasn't a 1 second, it wasn't a 1 frame. It was like, hey, we're here. We're still here. And the guys on the outside were fist pumping, and it's like an actionable offense to be excited, but man, you just can't help it when you know you got a record. And You know, oftentimes it's like, man, I don't know. Dude, there's no doubt on that one, man. It was proper. We're gonna go to the pond and start to party a little bit more, but we're gonna, you know, obviously reflect, kind of let this digest. Probably 3 years, we're gonna rally another one, and maybe take a little bit of vacation between the time.